We all like to say that we put tons of effort into what we want to achieve, but do we? The truth is that a lot of people never achieve their goals. In fact, research found from the University of Scranton says 92% of people don't ever achieve their New Year's resolutions. That would mean that only 8% of people will be successful with their goals. With this information brought to us, we have to wonder what those people did so differently compared to the majority. Now, if you want a complete jackass answer, they simply put more effort. They thought out their goals, made a plan, and executed it, which sounds great, but if you click off this video and all you're left with is that piece of information, you won't be much farther from where you started. The steps you take to achieve something are really simple, but it's difficult to follow those said simple steps because they're so vague they're not very helpful. So what I wanted to do is take these pieces of information and actually make them into digestible bits of knowledge that you can actually use in your goal planning. And yes, I'm growing a mullet. No, I don't need your opinion on it. People tend to set themselves up for failure in the very beginning because they don't know what it is that they're chasing after. You could say, I'm going to lose weight this year, but how much weight are you going to lose? 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 100 pounds? Not having a clear set goal makes seeing progress so much harder and may discourage a person to the point of giving up. What you guys need is a goal plan. There are many ways you could make goal plans, but the easiest way would be to make a roadmap. Now what this means is that you would grab a piece of paper or create a document and you would write out your starting point and then your long-term goal. After that, you would create a series of short-term goals in between those two so that a goal is always within reach and progress doesn't seem impossible. A well-known language learning site known as Refold does this pretty well and allows the followers of their method to gauge progress of their language knowledge by achieving certain stages and hitting milestones. While it is tailored to language learning, this sort of roadmap template can be useful for all kinds of goals and is a great reference for when you're creating your own. So there are 3 things you may want to consider when making your roadmap. The first would be reasoning. By reasoning, I mean really figure out why you want to achieve this goal. Will it bring you something positive? Or on the other hand, if you don't achieve this goal, will something negative happen? You have to hash this out because when motivation runs low, we have to have a reason not to give up. Next would be timing. Figure out just how long each of these short-term goals will take and if you're okay with that amount of time in between progress. If not, you might want to create even shorter term goals in between those so you don't feel like you're hitting a plateau. And finally, setbacks. You will make countless mistakes when trying to achieve something, and not all of those will be predictable. But before even starting, we can think of potential setbacks and write down ways to solve them, so that when we encounter some of those mistakes or setbacks, we won't feel too overwhelmed. This will also get you in the habit of problem solving, so when an unpredicted issue comes up, you'll be able to find a solution. At the end of the day, we mark our missed goals as something that wasn't meant to be. It was the right thing at the wrong time. But we tend to say this to cover up the actual embarrassing truth of us having weak willpower. The most important thing by far when chasing a goal is effort and consistency. Now, these 2 things may fluctuate, which is fine. You may do the bare minimum on one day or miss 2 days because of a camping trip, but as long as those 2 aspects stay within our goal chasing, failure is quite literally impossible. Repetition gives us ideas on how to improve, and trying harder puts those ideas into motion, which inevitably leads to progress. So if you've been trying to achieve something and you just feel like it's impossible, chances are it's not, and you may not be trying hard enough.